Lowest blunder rate among all champions in the history of chess. An average error of 0.1008 per move, significantly lower than any other world champion. A streak of undefeated play that lasted for 8 years. And at his peak, according to the chess metric system, Capablanca achieved the third highest 3 years performance rating in chess history. This is José Raúl Capablanca, the Cuban genius who reached heights of dominance that perhaps no chess player before or since has matched. The question isn't whether he belongs among the greatest players in history, it's whether anyone else belongs in his league. Today, we examine the extraordinary career of Capablanca, using historical records and modern computer analysis, and discover exactly how good he really was. The story begins in Havana, 1892. A father plays chess with a friend while his 4-year-old son watches silently from across the room. After observing a single game, he pointed out an illegal move his father had made. He learned chess when he was not even 5 years old, and from this moment his story is nothing short of legendary. What makes the Capablanca mythology so powerful is the supposed effortlessness of his chess. While other masters were known for their intensive study and preparation, Capablanca was renowned for minimal preparation and an intuitive, seemingly effortless playing style. Even Garry Kasparov, in his series My Great Predecessors, described Capablanca's style as one of the purest, most crystal clear in the entire history of chess, that astonishes one with his logic.
That Capablanca played so forcefully, so accurately in the middle game, that he gained some advantages going into the end game that almost only he could appreciate. So that in reality he had amassed those advantages in the middle game, and he would only convert them in the end game. Probably some of the same can be said for me.
But legends can sometimes obscure reality. So let's look at what objective metrics tell us about Capablanca's strength. First, let's consider Capablanca's competitive record, which is truly remarkable. Between 1916 and 1924, Capablanca did not lose a single official game of chess, a streak of undefeated play that lasted for 8 years. Throughout his entire career, he lost only 34 serious games out of several hundred played. His ability to avoid defeat was unprecedented, and this remarkable consistency is part of what made him so feared as an opponent. He dominated every leading player of his time, but the most fascinating question about Capablanca is, how would he fare against today's super grandmasters?
What do you think about Capablanca? Está myslí Fischer o Capablanca?
Well, he was one of the best, one of the best of all time.
Would you beat Capablanca in the match? Dali by Fischer pobedia Capablanca?
I don't know if I beat him. I mean, if I don't make any mistakes,
Ako ne
I
bih
can't
pravio
lose.
greške, onda ne bih izgubio.
But if he doesn't make any mistakes, he can't lose.
To answer this, we need to first understand that chess knowledge is cumulative. Today's players benefit from over 150 years of theory development, computer analysis, and systematic training methods that Capablanca never had access to. Opening theory evolved dramatically over time. The conditions of play changed. How can we possibly know how Capablanca would have fared against Kasparov? But what if there was a more objective way? What if we could use modern chess engines to analyze the actual quality of moves played by world champions throughout history? That's exactly what researchers Matej Guid and Ivan Bratko set out to do in a groundbreaking study. The researchers used a chess engine to analyze the games played in world championship matches, from Steinitz to Kramnik, 14 world champions in total. Rather than simply looking at game results, they evaluated the actual moves played. Here's how it worked. For every position, it compared the move the player actually made with what the computer considered the best move. The difference between these two evaluations became the error rate for each move. To ensure fair comparison, the analysis started from the 12th move of each game to avoid the opening phase, where opening theory has advanced dramatically over time. Now for the jaw-dropping results. When measured by the average difference between moves played and best evaluated moves, essentially how close each player came to perfect play, Capablanca ranked number 1 among all world champions, and it gets better. When measuring blunder rate, defined as moves that cost more than the equivalent of a pawn, Capablanca again topped the list with the lowest percentage of blunders, even better than Petrosian, who is widely renowned as a player who almost never blundered. Let that sink in. Capablanca, with no computers, no databases, and no engine prep, played moves that align closest with modern machine evaluation. When we look beyond computer analysis to statistical ratings, Capablanca's greatness is further confirmed. Jeff Sonus's sophisticated chess metric system, which creates historical ratings going back to 1840, places Capablanca among the chess immortals across multiple timeframes. Notice something remarkable here? Capablanca appears in the top 5 across all meaningful timeframes. Capablanca wasn't just brilliant in flashes, his genius was remarkably consistent over time, further cementing his place among the greatest chess minds in history.
Frequently when we talk about chess history, we say Paul Morphy would have been 2,700 nowadays. We say all these players would have been 2,700. Capablanca is widely said to probably transfer his skill set the most to modern day chess.
What made Capablanca's approach so effective? The analysis suggests something fascinating about his chess philosophy. While many great players seek complications and calculate deep tactical variations, Capablanca often preferred moves that were positionally so strong and clear that complex calculations weren't necessary. Kasparov speculated that Capablanca sometimes didn't even bother calculating deep tactical variations. The Cuban simply preferred moves that were clear and positionally justified. This clarity of thought, knowing which move was right without extensive calculation, may explain how he achieved such remarkable accuracy. It's like Capablanca had an intuitive understanding of where pieces belonged. He recognized patterns and principles so deeply that he could play nearly perfect chess without the exhaustive analysis that consumes other players. His legendary endgame technique shows the same quality, a deep understanding of where pieces should be placed. If chess is both an art and a science, then Capablanca was its Leonardo da Vinci, a rare genius who seemed to grasp its deepest truths through an almost supernatural intuition. We may never see another player who combines such precision with such apparent effortlessness. Perhaps that's why, a century after his prime, we're still asking the question: exactly how good was José Raúl Capablanca? The computer analysis tells us he was the most accurate world champion ever measured. His contemporaries called him a genius. His opponents felt they were facing something beyond ordinary human calculation. But perhaps his true greatness lies in how his games continue to reveal chess truths to each new generation. In a game increasingly dominated by preparation and memorization, Capablanca reminds us that at its core, chess is about harmony, logic, and beauty. Tell me in the comments which world champion you want to see analyzed next. You can also become a supporter through Patreon or by joining as a YouTube member. For just the price of a coffee each month, you'll help ensure we can continue making these in-depth historical analyses.